Wow, 2 videos in one day. Nah, I'm not gonna do this that often, so don't get your hopes up. Anyway, let's get into the video. As there are currently no guns in Dying Light 2, both a crossbow and a bow both serve a useful purpose, taking out enemies from a faraway distance. But which one's better, and how do you find them? Okay, first let's go over the crossbow. You get this by assigning 5 structures to the PKs. These include electrical and water towers. The crossbow has a very high damage and a very quick attack speed. As well as that, the crossbow scales up your level, so the higher level you get, the more damage it will deal to enemies. The only downside is that compared to the bow, it is less damage per shot, so it means it's more expensive to use in the long run. Personally, I prefer it to the bow, as it has a lot higher damage per second as a semi-auto rather than a drawback bow, making it very effective against mini-bosses or very large crowds of enemies. Now, onto the bolts it uses. The only ones worth using are a normal bolt because it's cheap, the impact bolt deals very high damage, and a freeze bolt is very useful and provides a temporary stun to enemies. A contender would be the stun bolts, however this uses cans which are annoying to get, and it isn't really that effective compared to the freeze. Now, onto the bow. You can get it after completing the Let's Walk story mission. However, better versions of this can be found in very high places, such as near supply drops or in very high radio towers. The bow has a higher damage per shot than a crossbow. It takes 2 seconds to fully charge, 1.5 to reach maximum damage. If you're in a panic, you can fire it very quickly, however this won't deal any more damage than charging up to 1.5 seconds. Another one of its benefits over the crossbow is that it's very easy to get high levels of it, so in mid-tier game, you find it very good and powerful compared to the crossbow. Now, onto the arrows for the bow. These are generally more useful than those of the crossbow. Firstly, they're the base arrows. Obviously these are easy to craft. As well as that, there are the fire arrows, which deal damage over time and can spread to a small crowd. And there are the shock arrows. These are my personal favourite and apply a stun to a very large group of enemies, and are probably the best arrow or bolt in the game. What makes them this good is that they only require wiring to craft, which is a common material very easily purchased from any trader. All of the rest of the materials are either too expensive or just not good enough to worth trying. Well, that's it for today. Hope you enjoyed the video, and have a good day.